Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Raw review with us, the Two Stooges? No. Fuck the Two Stooges. We're the British Fist. By far, much better than those three stick comedy wannabe fuckers. I am Mr. Parkin. No slapstick comedy here, ladies and gentlemen. Boing, bing, boing, boing. And this guy in here is NJ.
What's up?
Indeed, that is not slapstick comedy. That is pure entertainment, NJ. That is how you do it. Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this edition of Monday Night Raw down in that comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Yes, indeed. And after what happened on last week's Raw, I think it's fair to say that after that hot main event angle, we were very much looking forward to this Raw, weren't we? First time in a while, we really legitimately looked forward to Raw to see what was going to happen.
Well, with the fact that we got the big return straight after WrestleMania, we were looking forward to seeing what direction they're going, how they're going to build this feud up. So it's definitely got us wanting to see the future of the WWE.
Exactly. We started off with the news that we were going to get the Three Stooges as guest hosting. I've never heard of these guys. They're kind of living a gimmick which sort of was popular in the 1950s or the Charlie Chaplin era. But, yeah. And also I heard Damien Sandow works another dark match. Woo! My FCW guys are getting featured in the dark matches. Maybe he'll get another promo on Smackdown?
Maybe he will.
Indeed. So should we just get on with the show, NJ?
Let's go.
Got all the preliminary out of the way. Time to get with the opener of this show. We opened up with none other than Johnny Ace coming down to the ring with his new music, which he debuted on Smackdown this week. And we get that lovely little rerun of what happened to Cena last week via Lesnar. And you guys... If you weren't there, but you should have seen the smile on NJ's face. It was much bigger than this one when the footage was showing Cena getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, since last week I've been playing it over and over and over again. Take that, Cena, you're not as big as you thought you was.
Because basically you have John Laurinaitis welcoming the new face of WWE, Brock Lesnar. And we find out the news that he's going to be facing John Cena at Extreme Rules. Now I have a question to ask you, NJ. Do you feel that bringing back Lesnar to have his first pay-per-view match at Extreme Rules may be a little bit too soon? Would you think they'd want to actually build this up to a bigger pay-per-view, perhaps? Just putting that question out there.
Well, two-sided. I think it is too soon, because obviously with what has been as big as he is, he does deserve something bigger and better. But the fact he's returned, it seems like in a feud, got to think, well, with Extreme Rules coming up, what could we do with Cena? So bring him in a match with Brock Lesnar, who's obviously returned to get Cena, it does make sense.
I guess so. You guys give us your thoughts down in the comment section below, I guess. And then basically we get Brock Lesnar coming on. We find out that he's pretty much John Laurinaitis' new henchman, I guess you could say. And he talks about that he's going to bring back legitimacy to the WWE. And then out comes John Cena. He slaps Brock Lesnar. And then what does Brock Lesnar do, NJ?
Whacks him down, puts him down, punches, makes his mouth bleed.
Exactly. And this segment, in my opinion, was a really hot way, not just to continue from last week, but a real hot way to open the show. You had the whole locker room down in there trying to pull these guys apart. You had Brock Lesnar. He actually legitimately hit Cena and made his mouth bleed. What a way to open the show after last week's main event. Oh.
There's definitely a big impact of the opener. Yeah, Brock Lesnar didn't really get much to say because Cena interrupted him. But the way it went, had the big fight and all the rest is coming down, not just jobbers this way, well done WWE. It really made, obviously, Brock Lesnar look strong. The impact of this feud grow. I really enjoyed this opener.
Yeah, you had faces and heels alike working together, didn't we? Oh, God. But I mean, it was a very, very strong opener for the WWE. It really did feel, it felt real, sort of real, didn't it? Which is what I liked about it. It felt like they legitimately hated each other that much.
It really felt that way, and I really think that they obviously gave us what we wanted to see, a follow-on in the opener, so actually just give us the thing that we were waiting to see, and I really cannot fault how they did this. Not
at all. Very hot opener, and it looks like WWE continued their booking philosophy of last week by booking Santino, Funkasaurus, Ziggler, and Swagger in the match after the opener. And I think, to be honest, it's nice to finally see Brodus Clay in a non-squash match, if you know what I mean. Yes, he's in a tag team match. He didn't get that much action. He got the pin in the match, but it was nice to just see Brodus Clay just not squashing someone for a change, wasn't it?
Well, that's the thing that's made me like from last week to this week. Finally getting direction for Brodus Clay, so that can make me believe in him more than just squash match. Just not really going for Brodus Clay. Now we're getting him with the direction, him with Santino, two comedy acts together. It's definitely giving me something to believe in Brodus Clay, and the fact that WWE do have plans for Brodus Clay now.
Brodus Clay and Santino are both very entertaining characters, so why not stick them together and see what kind of reaction they've got? I mean, the crowd were very quiet in this segment, which, compared to last week, was kind of like, oh, But again, you kind of expected the crowd was going to be a bit less than the Miami crowd last week because that was an insane crowd that we're never going to get in a long time. Like I said, Funkasaurus gets the win on Ziggler. You do wonder where they're going to go with this now, to be honest with you. But it was a decent segment to continue the opener.
In this, I did notice that Swag was booked really quite strong in this. Maybe it's not going to lead to something. It's just I noticed as well as watching, thinking Swag's getting a lot of attention here. But whatever, the match obviously gave us the right outcome. We're having Bros Clay and Santino with the win, directional to whatever's going to come. And I just thought this obviously left us open to what they could do next.
Yep, I hope they do something good with Brodus Clay and Ziggler. To be honest with you, it looks like we're going to have John Cena as John Laurinaitis' next protagonist. If you know what I mean, they've got John Cena going up to John Laurinaitis saying, "Oh, you know, you brought in Brock Lesnar. Da 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 da. I'll take a hit. Da 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 da." So it looks like it's going to be like Brock Lesnar is going to be Johnny Ace's sort of henchman, and John Cena will be like the main protagonist, as he usually is on WWE TV, I guess.
Well, it does look that way. They've gone from CM Punk, that finished up, still going, but not as strong as this. Now they're taking care of Cena, and they're using Brock Lesnar to do that. So I do look forward to them progressing this, because with Laurinaitis now feuding in a way with Cena, I'm expecting this to go on for the last couple of months, building up to a bigger, better pay-per-view. But from this segment, I did have a feeling there was going to be a match between John Cena and Otunga. I felt it just because obviously with Cena getting in the face of Laurinaitis, just think, right, you're in a match against someone.
Yeah, it was real Teddy Long booking philosophy, wasn't it? Obvious main event number one made. But anyway, next segment, we got R-Truth versus Cody Rhodes, and both of them got pretty decent reactions in this segment. My boy come out to a nice pop actually. But you get the match going on, and you knew this match would be not there for nothing else than to allow Big Show to come out and show him showing Cody Rhodes last week's embarrassing moment. It's just confusing, wasn't it? Because he was showing him a clip last week of him embarrassing him at WrestleMania. It's kind of like, oh, different dimensions going on here. Whoa!
It was a bit weird, but like, there was still more embarrassment happening at WrestleMania, the big stage of them all, so maybe we could use another one there. But overall, this did continue the feud between Cody Rhodes and Big Show, but so far it's all in Big Show's hands, this feud. But I'm expecting Cody Rhodes to get the upper hand between now and Extreme Rules, when predicting another match will be played. But over this, it's really booked the right way for the feud to continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Going into WrestleMania, you had Cody Rhodes sort of doing this to Big Show. Now you have Big Show doing it to Cody Rhodes. You do wonder, they're definitely going to set up another match at Extreme Rules, and I look forward to seeing these two in an ODQ match or something like that. It'll be a decent match, just like it was with Ray and Cody last year. You kind of feel that way, the same way. And yeah, I mean, it was a decent segment. I mean, it was a short match, but it was all about getting this storyline over. A Big Show now using Cody Rhodes' embarrassing moments against him. So they're kind of like turning the tides going into two different pay-per-views.
That's true. The wrestlers who are getting the pin over Cody are not really going anywhere. So it's kind of thinking, you get the pin over someone as big as Cody, but it's not going to go anywhere. But at the same time, the fact that Big Show got involved obviously set up what we're going to get later on.
It's amazing how Big Truth once was, and now he's just like cannon fodder in a Cody Rhodes Big Show feud. But there we go. It's for the IC belt. Exactly. What's up indeed. Did not trademark that from R-Truth at all. No. We got the announcement of a live Smackdown. We're going to get a blast from the past live Smackdown, so we're going to be reviewing that tomorrow. So expect a Q&A on Friday. And my thing here is, last time we had a live Smackdown, it wasn't really promoted that well. And although this is a blast from the past kind of old school version, I can't help but feel that this hasn't been promoted that well either.
Well, the thing I'm going to say is the fact that people now know that it's going to be a live Smackdown, there's reports going on the internet and everything, the fact that it's going to be old wrestlers, hopefully people will be more interested in tuning into Smackdown. You might not get the best rating, there'll be people more interested in seeing what they do when they come onto the show. So I think it could be interesting, but at the same time, not really directional. Yeah,
indeed, and the last live Raw they had, last live SmackDown they had indeed got a bad rating. So who knows what they're going to do with this one? We had our traditional before the hour main event Lord Tensai squash match. Who was he up against this weekend, Jay?
He was against none other than Yoshitatsu.
Exactly, and their Off the Road show started off this thing on Twitter: "Save Yoshitatsu." Well, looks like the WWE at least gave him some TV time this week.
Yeah, the thing about this match, straight away, it was set up through Twitter. Yoshitatsu's trying to prove that he's the Japanese guy. He's the one who's going to beat him, prove how much of a big guy he is. No, this is all about, obviously, Lord Tensai's second big match, or big match to him at the moment, against Yoshi.
Notice how in this match fans were chanting, "Albert, Albert, Albert." They know who he is, don't they? But I mean, they've set him up as this sort of Japanese big guy, I guess, and the referee stops the match after 2 minutes. The second week in a row, they've done a decent job at making him look like a beast, I guess, which is exactly what they need to do.
I looked at this and think they're making him look dominant, looking good, but obviously, as it's still early days, I'm thinking how they're going to build him up to a direction that suits him better than just these squash matches.
True. I do wonder what they're going to do with him going into Extreme Rules, because I imagine they have plans for him. I think he was the original henchman for Laurinaitis, but since Brock Lesnar's come back, they've now had to sort of change their plans a little bit, so they had to change their plans around for Lord Tensai, but Brock Lesnar's bigger anyway. Yeah. There we go. We then have our main event segment. CM Punk comes out looking very serious, talking about how straight edge was his personal choice and Jericho has been destroying his private life, and when he was covered in alcohol, he thought that he smelt just like his father. This was a very sort of personal promo, wasn't it? And I like these personal storylines, to be honest with you, because they feel real. They feel legit.
The fact I felt this was a kind of a similarity to Jericho's past side promos and that, he did bring it up in a strong way against Punk and did go on more about it really trying to get Punk to snap, which is what we need to see him. Because obviously, when he snaps, he's absolutely great. Someone to watch out for, dominant, and proves that he's a strong fighting champion. And
you get Jericho on the Titantron saying that he's talking about Punk being drunk, CM drunk. I bet that was trending on Twitter. And then Punk basically says he wants to kick Jericho's ass. So I imagine these two will be having a match at Extreme Rules. Maybe an ODQ match or something.
I do look at this, and the way he says that it's not just about me proving that I'm the best in the world. I actually want to kick your ass, and I'm really looking forward to it, because obviously the more emotion you get out of Punk, the better the match would be. Because we all know Jericho's a great wrestler and that, but we need to get more out of Punk, and that's exactly what's happening now.
Exactly, and they're changing Punk's dynamic, and just from this sort of smiley babyface to this guy who responds, like he did tonight. And basically, that led us into our WWE title match, Punk versus Mark Henry. Was definitely longer than the World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania, but it was basically, you had CM Punk going pretty much mental on Henry with a TV monitor, and then you have Jericho coming out, distracting CM Punk, allowing Mark Henry to attack CM Punk, and then you get Jericho coming in, basically pouring beer all over Punk. Again, another strong segment for this feud, in my opinion, in the our main event.
It's definitely, because obviously with Jericho getting the upper hand over Punk, we do expect Punk's frustration to keep on growing and to continue to show it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. It's not going to be the same pour beer on Punk. I do expect more to come from this lead up to Extreme Rules.
It'll be interesting to see what they do going into Extreme Rules. Zack Ryder versus Alberto Del Rio was next, and I think we knew who was winning this one, didn't we? This was an hour. This is I said an hour. This was a minute 30 squash match. Del Rio gets the victory. Looks pretty strong, and I just have a question. Is Del Rio now on SmackDown? Because they did announce that he was a SmackDown superstar. Has he just been put on SmackDown now? Because I feel his place should be SmackDown, really.
Well, I look at this, and I do expect now Del Rio's had all these segments involving SmackDown. He is going to be drafted to SmackDown without anything being said. And the thing is, the way he did the armbar, or the thing he did to Ryder, he went, die, 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 die! Oh yes, take that, Ryder.
Indeed, because we were never fans of Ryder, were we? So these segments are always pretty entertaining. And it looks like Del Rio is heading straight to the top at SmackDown. And yeah, so there we go. That's pretty much that's done and sorted. Oh god. We then had the Three Stooges segments. We had a couple of these little segments with Santino throughout the night. And basically they come out, and no surprise to me really, the crowd were booing them. The crowd were booing the Three Stooges. And it's no surprise, because you have one of the Stooges coming out dressed as Hulk Hogan, TNA lawsuit hashtag for the win. And yeah, it was really like, oh god, like making fun of Hogan? Really?
The whole thing about this is that the entertainment was meant to be there, because obviously they bring up their movie and how you must watch it, but their jokes and their little slaps and that, there was just nothing to it. The crowd weren't responding, so I'm kind of really glad that this next happened, because they were really not paying any attention. There was nothing to them, and out comes a fiery red monster.
If there's one person you want to ruin slapstick comedy in 2012, it's got to be Kane. And Kane basically comes out and chokeslams the Hogan Stooge. And to be honest with you, Kane always got a face reaction, because no one liked this segment at all. And he got a face reaction, really, which was weird, because he's supposed to be a heel. But, a kind of an ineffective segment, in my opinion. Just sucked. I'm glad that Kane came out, I guess, but... just a terrible guest segment, in my opinion.
It was indeed. I'm glad it's over.
We then got a big segment of the show, which didn't really have too much wrestling. We had a lot of backstage stuff. We had an interview with Mark Henry saying that now he's beaten Punk twice by DQ and countout. That next week is going to have a no DQ and countout match for the World Heavyweight Championship, I think he said.
Oh, yes.
Against CM Punk, who is the what champion?
WWE champion,
yeah.
But for 1 week only, CM Punk is going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. Well done, CM Punk.
Yeah, he's a dual champion. Finally, they've managed to merge those belts together. Not sure if Sheamus will be chuffed with that. We only saw Sheamus in the opener tonight as a little dragger. But there we go. So next week we're going to have a match between those two for the 3rd time in a no DQ count-out match. So there we go.
Mark Henry guarantees he's going to be the next champion.
Oh yeah, because that'll really help the Jericho Punk feud. I'm just saying. We also got then a Josh Matthews interview with Brock Lesnar, talking about his history with the WWE, how he was once a big star, then he became a big star in UFC, and now Cena could never hold his jock strap. And he was making fun of the people, but it was funny that the people were cheering him, weren't they? And it's no surprise because the guy's just come in and he's this legitimate badass which people want to cheer. But they're going to make him heel, obviously, against Cena.
That's very true. And the fact is, yes, the people say they don't want to hear Lesnar on mic, but when he spoke, he actually made us feel his return, make him feel that he's going to go back to the top, and he's glad that night to put him where he belongs.
Exactly. Johnny Ace doing his business.
For once.
You don't got it, figure it out. But anyway, we have then a video recap of the Taker versus Triple H match at WrestleMania, with superstars really putting it over. I must admit, I did enjoy this video segment. It kind of felt like, you know, these guys weren't appearing on Raw because this is the end now.
But the fact we're getting none of the 3, not even Shawn Michaels coming to say where Triple H and Taker are, it was just a video package. Even though I was thinking hopefully HBK should come out and announce this, but the video package did awesomely. It showed the feeling from the wrestlers and how great the match was for WrestleMania, which is very good.
I think the important word here is emotion as well, which is why so many people rated the match so highly, because it just brought out all this emotion. But anyway, then got into our main event. John Cena, who we expect in the main event, versus David Otunga, who's in the main event. And no, we can't sport muscles as big as John Laurinaitis. No, that's my arms. But yeah, you can sport muscles bigger than David Otunga. I sure as hell cannot, but there we go. So David Otunga's in the main event. Woohoo, we really wanted to see this, didn't we? But it was really there to set the post-match segment up, wasn't it? I mean, the match went about 5 minutes. Otunga was actually put pretty strong in this, but Cena wins and
took down Cena, enjoying it. Even though I don't like Otunga, I was enjoying Cena get beat, I was enjoying it. But obviously it all came down, which I wasn't predicting. I was predicting Brock Lesnar to interfere during the match somewhere, but Cena gets the win over Otunga. Yep,
and then Brock Lesnar does interfere in the match and lays out Cena with a low blow and gives him an F5. I mean, again, it was another good way to end Raw with Brock Lesnar, a massive star that people love to see, and he's a legit badass, which is why people legitimately want to cheer him right now.
Very true. With Laurinaitis there watching, he was very pleased of Brock Lesnar doing his awful greatness to John Cena, and great way to end Raw.
Yep, F5 to John Cena. Gets an extra grade from you just for that, doesn't it? Baby. The fact Cena got his ass kicked and the fact he was bleeding from the mouth. But anyway, so really not too much to say about that segment. Brock Lesnar's Cena feud is looking kind of like there, and everything else, like you got Punk and Jericho there, and everything else just kind of seems like there. But at least we've got something big going in the WWE right now, which is kind of creating legit buzz for the company.
Very true, and I do think that they've done pretty good with this Raw. They're following on from WrestleMania, giving us really strong Raws, I think.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, talk about overall thoughts. I mean, for me, this Raw, like I said, it has Cena and Lesnar up there, which is a real hot angle. Punk and Jericho, which is just below it, and everything else just seems like down here right now. And I think it kind of shows you've got a guy like Lesnar coming in, who's really a massive star, a way bigger star than John Cena, and it just goes to show you that putting him in the main event, and everything else just seems secondary, because, well, that's what's going to draw money and buzz, but at the same time, it's kind of shitting on your current product a little bit, but there were entertaining parts of this Raw. There were quite crap parts of this Raw. But the main angle was done very well throughout the night, so I'll give it credit there. They did highlight some feuds. There were some segments which did seem a little bit pointless, in my opinion. But the opener was good. The main event was generally pretty good. The hour main event was pretty good as well. So I'll give this like a C+, B- show. Probably more towards B-, even though I think the Stooges thing was so bad.
Well, overall, I was entertained by this Raw. Everything had some entertainment purpose. We had strong segments which gave this Raw a really good feeling to it. A great way to finish. The Stooges, bad, awful. I'm glad Kane destroyed them. And now what I'm going to say now is that this Raw, for me, gets a strong B-.
A strong B-?
A strong B-. I was really satisfied. but it's not quite a B because the Stooges ruined it for me. But overall, I was really enjoying this Raw.
Alright guys, you've heard our opinions on Raw. What's more important to us is that you give us your thoughts on Raw, so make sure you give us your thoughts on this edition of Monday Night Raw down in that comment section below, of course. And now we end with what is our version of Brock Lesnar, which is NJ.
Well, thank you people for tuning in on the Raw review. Please share your thoughts about the Raw in the comment section below. Tune in for our Smackdown tomorrow. And from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. What's up? Until next time, people. Goodbye.